session we shall try to discuss about the concept of loops. Okay, let's try to understand the concept of loops. What is a loop and how that concept can be implemented in Scala language, and what are the keywords that we use and what are the statements that we use for implementing the concept of loops, that we shall try to understand in this session. Okay, we need to perform some operation or set of operations, only one operation, some set of operations, over a range of values, over a range of values, over a range of values. So there will be a situation where we need to perform one or more operations. It can be one or more, multiple operations over a range of values. That means starting with some value and ending with some value, ending value. So in between this, we perform some set of operations. Okay, so some set of operations will be performed. Here we have some set of operations. So these operations will be performed starting with the first value, starting value, and it reaches till it reaches the end value. Okay, the starting, let us say some starting value is 1, ending value is 10. Let us say like that. Okay, and we have some set of statements here. Let me call the statements as S1, S2, S3. So if we provide statements something like this, some statements like this, so the set of statements will be applied on 1, or it can be start with 1, and how to reach from starting value to end value. How can we reach from 1 to 10? On what basis? How we can reach from 1 to 10? There are different ways of reaching 10. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is one possibility of reaching from 1 to 10. There's another possibility also is there. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 followed by 11. So up to 10, these are the different values. Starting from 1, ending with 10. There's nothing but different values. Then one other possibility is there. That is 1, 4, 7, 10. Different possibilities are different combinations of the values. Now this I say here, some set of operations will be performed over a range of values or certain number of times. So in this case, if we choose these values starting with 1 and ending with 11, what does this mean? Total how many times it is the statements are going to be executed in this case is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, totally 6 times. Okay, and in this case 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10, totally 10 times. And in this case it will be only 4 times. That is starting, sorry, it will be about 5 only, maximum up to 10 only, right? So it will only 5. So if we have some set of statements, these set of statements must be executed how many times? How many times this set of statements must be executed? Okay, to define how many times, we define some range of values here. So starting with 1, ending with 10, let us say. So if this is the sequence of generation of values, totally 5 times this set of statements will be executed. That's it, very simple. This looping in Scala programming language will be implemented by 3 types of statements. They are, first one is first statement, and second is while statement, and third is do while statement. Okay, first statement, while statement, and do while statement. These are 3 statements that we can use for implementing the concept of loops. Let me create a new program here. Loop 1, I call it as loop 1 here. Loop 1. Let me create an object here. So here def main, and here we shall try to find the sum of integers between a given range. Okay, find the sum of integers between a given range. How we are trying to find the sum? Just observe now here very clearly. It's very simple. For I 1 to 10, some C count equal to count plus I, and you write down here where count of int equal to 0. Println the sum is, just ignore this part first, just concentrate on this. So the starting value is 1 here and the ending value is, one more we have to use by 1. So starting value is 1, ending value is 10. And what is the next value after 1? Okay, that is how we navigate from the starting value to end value. That we define by using by 1 here. Nothing but the first value will be equal to 1, and the second value will be, next value will be by plus 1. Okay, by 1 we are using by 1 here. So next value will be 2, and again 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 1 5, till it reaches 10. Okay, just now we have discussed starting value, okay, ending value, and incremental value, that is updated value. How to navigate to the last value? We have to assign the starting value to some intermediate variable, to some temporary variable, not intermediate, I can say that temporary variable. Okay, we should need a variable to hold all these values. So we are taking as that variable, as a temporary variable to hold all these values. Okay, it is called a directional operator. It is something like a loading operator, loading or directional operator we call it as. So the value, whatever value we have specified here, that value will be loaded initially into I. Thereafter the value in I will be updated by 1 here. Okay, I will try to explain this code now. Okay, just see this, very simple. So here we are using 1 and ending with 10. Okay, and by 1 is going to update the values like this: 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, this is the code I have written here, simple manner. For I 1 to 10 by 1, 10 by 1, count equal to count plus I, and where count colon int equal to 0. This is what I have written, isn't it? And finally I have written the statement println. Println the sum is plus count. This is what I have written. Okay, now let me explain this. So the process is actually starting with 1 here. Okay, and what is the ending value we are seeing here? Ending value is 10. Is 1 is less than 10, starting with 1, and the ending value is 10. So is 1 less than 10 or greater than 10 here? So we are trying to reach 1 to 10, isn't it? 1 to 10. So the value 1 will be is less than 10. So if this condition is satisfied, then this particular statement will be executed. So initially count equal to 0. So for I equal to 0, what is going to happen is count value equal to count plus 1. There's nothing but 0 plus 1 equal to 1. Now the value of C equal to 1. After this is done. Okay, next, after this is executed, fine. What is the next value of I? It has to reach 10, right? Still at 1 only. If it has reached 10, the next value to be generated is by 1. Nothing but 1 plus 1, it is going to become 2 now. The value of I is going to become 2. Okay, what about 2? 2 is less than 10 or more than 10, greater than 10, is still less than 10. So again this statement will be executed. C equal to C plus I. What is the value of I here? I equal to 2, isn't it? So C equal to C plus C value is 1 plus I value is 2. 1 plus 2, that is equal to 3. So C value will become now 3. Okay, so after this is done, again this will be evaluated by 1. What is the value that is meant by 1? In the sense I value will be incremented by 1 again. 2 plus 1. Now the value of I will be 3 here. What about 3? 3 is less than 10. So this is how. Next this is going to be executed. After this, the value of I will be 3. So 3 is less than 10. So again this statement will be executed. Count equal to count plus I. That is C equal to 3 plus I. There is nothing but 3. 3 plus 3 equal to 6. Okay, this statement will be executed again. After this, what is the next value of I? That is by 1. That is plus 1 equal to 4. Okay, I value will be equal to 4. Again 4 is less than 10. Who is 4 less than 10? Yes, condition is evaluated to be true, and again this statement will be executed. That is C equal to C value 6 now. 6 plus the value of I, that will be equal to 10. And again the value of I will be incremented by 1 with this statement, and I value will be 9. So again 9 is less than 10. So C equal to 36 plus 9, that will be equal to 45. And finally 9 plus 1, that is 10, I value is 10. So C equal to again 45 plus 10, that will be equal to 55. Next, what is the next value of I? I by 1, the value of I will be equal to 11. But what is the condition we specified here? I is 1 to 10 only, not to 11, only up to 10. So it stops, the process is going to stop with 10. It is starting with 1 and it is ending with 10. What is the incrementing value? The incrementing value is 1. The updating value is 1 here. So I'm starting with 10. We are starting the process with 10, ending with 1. Okay, and we have to go like this: 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and finally I have to reach 1. Okay, right? This is how I have to reach. Otherwise, let me not go with complexity here. Let me simply use like 9 only. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is how we have to navigate, but the initial value is 10, final value is 1. And I would like to perform the multiplication of all these elements. Can you tell me how to write the code? So simply I can write here for I equal to I starting with 10. Okay, 12, what is the ending value? 1 by, so how can we reach from 10 to 9? So 10 minus 1, it is going to give 9. 9 minus 8, 9 minus 1, 8, 8 minus 1, 7. Okay, this is how we have to use. And what is that we are trying to do here? We are trying to perform the multiplication of all these values. In this case, I can use some variable m equal to m into I. This is fine. But what has to be the initial value of m in this case? Where m colon, it need not be int, let us take long. Why? Because the multiplication will become a huge number actually, equal to 1. Got it? This is how we need to write the code. Very simple. If you understand the logic, it will be very easy to implement. So the initial value, end value, and updating value, and this is the value that we are using for now. In this case, for multiplication, we say 1 is the identity value for multiplication. 1 is the identity value for multiplication, and 0 is the identity value for addition. 0 is the identity value for addition. Is it clear, guys? Fine. Get next one. Next use case I'm telling to you. So I would like to print a statement, welcome to Scala, 100 times. I would like to print a statement, welcome to Scala, 100 times. That is my task here. For j equal to, for j starting with what? 1 to 100 times by 1. You have to print it, right? You have to print the welcome to Scala string 100 times. So simply write here println welcome to Scala. Okay, that's it, done. So we are not updating any value here. Simply we are printing from 1 to 100 by 1. We are printing this welcome to Scala. That's it. Got the point? Is clear, guys? Okay. Now can I use something like this? Instead of this, can I use something like this? For some k 101 to 200 by 1. Same thing. Println welcome to Scala. Do you think is it going to work? Do you think this works? 101 to 200 by 1. No? Let us try. So this will work obviously. Let me first run this simple program. Later we shall try to implement that. Run loop 1. You can see the output here, 55 here. Okay. And now I will try to implement the logic whatever we have written now. For I equal to 101 to 200, isn't it? 200 by 1. What is that we are trying to implement here? A welcome to Scala. Is it at println welcome to Scala. So we need not to write print anything here. Simply just ignore this. And even this is not required now. Let us run this program now. it is going to be executed 100 times. Let us this works or not. See this. Yes, it is printed 100 times. See here, for I starting with 1, ending with some 10 here, by 1, some println, some high, something I written here, println high. Now we have to tell me how many times this particular statement will be executed. This is initialization statement. How many times this will be executed? Yeah. And how many times this statement will be executed? Ending statement, not sorry, updation statement. And how many times this 210 will be implemented? This is end statement or termination statements. And how many times this statement will be executed? This is block. We can have any number of statements, not just one statement. We can have any number of statements here. Okay. Initial statement will be executed only once. Initial I equal to 1, I less than 10, it becomes true. It executes this. Next, it will be incremented by 1. It will verify whether the value is less than 10 or not. Next, it goes like this. Like this. So this is going to iterate like this. So first, I value will be 1. Next, incremented by 1. After printing this is incremented by 1. Next, the condition will evaluate whether it is less than or equal to 10 or less than 10 or not, until this becomes false. Initialization statement will be executed only once. What about updation statement? How many times it will be executed? For I equal to 1, it will be executed. Next, I equal to 2, I equal to 3, I equal to 4, I equal to 5, I equal to 6. So I equal to 7, 8, 9, 10. 11th time also it will be executed, but 11th time it will become false. 10 times it will become true, 11th time it will become false, but it will be executed totally 11 times. Okay. And finally, how many times this block will be executed? This block exactly 10 times. So as long as this condition evaluates to true, this block will be totally 10 times here. Now you have to understand this basic programming. If you understand this basic programming, we can implement any complex programming. Clear?